It's not going to happen.
So what do you want people to do besides signing on board with you? What do you want the average person to do?
Okay,
right
I
now?
want you to sign up with me, and I'll be in touch with you, and we'll march together, is the way I see it. I'll give you instructions, tell you what we're going to do. But sign up with me, and it'll all unfold very, very systematically, very well organized.
What is your biggest challenge right now?
Pardon me?
What's your biggest challenge right now that you're facing?
You know, I'm moving really good. People like the idea, they like the plan. There's no really serious criticism of what I'm doing that I've run into. Now, I have people say, I don't like the plan. I say, okay, what's your plan? And if they have a plan that's better than mine, I'll join with them. Your plan isn't better than mine.
Oh, I disagree. I think my plan is much better than yours. It's the obstructionism that's put us in this place. For 30 years, you talked about government. Government's been the
I'm
problem.
not obstructing anything.
But obstructionism is what we have to get out
So it's
of
government.
the business of.
That's right.
Government is a big piece of the problem.
That's
Do
right.
you guys have any more questions over here? You guys, right here?
Yes.
I have
yeah.
one.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get to some of these.
Your plan is, insofar as the government isn't going to, coerce people into driving a different kind of car, is predicated on it being advantageous to users in terms of price of energy. But obviously, as we can tell, the price of oil and the price of energy fluctuates a great deal. So when oil is
Give me the question.
what do we do to smooth that transition so that it doesn't get, like, every time the price of oil, for instance, drops, that it doesn't get dropped, and we don't, so that you can stay the course onto a plan transitioning to wind, solar, and natural gas. So that every time there's a drop
Trust
in price, it
me,
doesn't take up.
sign up with me, and we'll get it done. Okay. You're
There
not
has
going
be
to
some
do
sort
it.
of-
It's
some
got to
sort of
be
structure.
So what?
There would need to be some sort of, structure to keep it moving, be it
It'll move.
taxes
It'll
or-
move.
or-
The 700 billion is going to make it move. Everybody sees that now, and they want it stopped. And so we'll get into it. And
There's a new bill that's being proposed in Congress by the Gang of 10 that has, will you be supporting
I
that?
haven't seen the bill yet. I know the gang, Ken, I met with half of them, and we're in agreement on most things. They're not on board as to, some of them want to drill our way out of it. You can't drill your way out of it. None of us are that good, not even this good geologists with 50 years experience.
Sir, considering that bureaucratic entanglements are usually the boon or the bane of any good idea, besides just signing up to join your plan, I mean, what specifically can individuals do? Write to their congressman? What
Sure,
are you
do
looking
that.
for then?
Right, and tell them you're for the Pickens Plan, if you are for it. I don't know what else you can do. I don't know what other plan you would put to it.
Well, I'm talking specifically to alleviate some of the bureaucratic entanglements that you may be facing.
They just go that you're for the Pickens Plan, and I'll take care of the entanglements.
Are you telling people if they're on the hook for the tax incentive for wind power at 1.8 cents per kilowatt hour?
Sure.
Which makes it.
Yeah, they're on the PTC.
Which makes it, and economically makes it a loser. In
Well,
addition
you
to the
don't know as
intermittency
much as
problem.
you think you do to start with.
Well, I'm just.
Well, we'll do it.
You take away the subsidies historically. Every time you take the subsidies away, the
you've
demand for wind power drops through the floor.
Yeah, you don't come in and build. That's right. I agree with you. It's slow going without the PTC. The PTC is $15 billion a year to create 200,000 megawatts of power. 15 billion, which is insignificant to the 700 billion. And so if you get the 200,000 megawatts of power in, you can release 22% of the natural gas that goes for power generation, which gets you a 38% decrease in the 700 billion. I know what I'm talking about.
If the consumer demand for oil domestically is lowered, do you foresee that there will be an increase in exports of oil? Selling more oil to Canada and Mexico, for instance?
Export to them?
Yes, sir.
Well, you'll never be, all you're going to do is reduce your imports by 38%. So how could you export oil if you're still importing 62%?
So you're saying our exports won't go up?
No, we won't export oil out of the United States to anybody. I mean, we're so overloaded with demand for oil in the United States. So no, you can't export.
Talking to some audience, regular folks out here, one of the reactions I heard from a number of people was conservation. Where is conservation in the Pickens Plan? Is this something the government also will
We
play
don't
a
have
role
a
in?
conservation segment to it. We're
Is the market just going to take care of it as energy costs are high? Does the government need to step in, or just conservation is not a piece?
Conservation will happen. When energy costs get up, you conserve, and demand goes down when the price goes up. But I'm not pitching a conservation plan. I know I can cut 10% out of my use of energy, and you can too. If we really sat down and looked at it, we can cut 10% out. That's good, we ought to do it. That can happen. But the only way you're gonna solve the problem for the short term of 20 years is with natural gas. You can't do it with anything else. It's not there.
What's the value of town hall meetings like the one that we just
You know,
had?
we have gained a tremendous amount of support. I mean, you see there, what are these people doing coming out at 10:30 in the morning? Because they're concerned, is why they're out here. They're concerned about energy. And they say, this guy's an expert. He must be because he's on television. I am an expert. I don't want to talk about it. But they come out. I think 10% of them come because they've heard of me, and I'm 80 years old, and they think I'm going to die, and they won't see me again. That's 10%. 90% are concerned about energy, is what it's about. They don't think they've heard this. And from the town halls, we pick up on all of that, the same thing at every location we go to. They don't think they've been told the truth, and they're very concerned about the future, is what it comes down to.
And some of the people are worried about being sold a bill of goods like we were on ethanol. And we're reaping the harvest of those bad decisions
Ethanol was
now.
not a bill of goods. It was a horrible deal, but it was our deal.
Our deal and a bad deal, and now there is.
I'd rather have
legitimate
1.5 million
concern about
barrels
that.
off ethanol than buy 1.5 million barrels from Saudi Arabia.
Well, not when the energy output is roughly equal or even less. We have to burn more oil to get it.
What did create jobs, it did pay taxes for profits
But
made.
it doesn't help our imports, though.
It does help your
No, not if you're burning 1 million gallons of gasoline to get 1 million gallons of ethanol that has a lower energy quotient.
a lower energy quotient. Well, I bought 1 million barrels of oil that I paid for, and that money went out the door. The million I spent here, whatever it was used here and created jobs here. Let's go. I'm getting
How did you
tired of
choose,
talking to this guy.
New Mexico? You could have gone to many places. Why'd you pick coming here?
Because I liked you.
Must have been a better reason than that.
I write for an audience of college students that are probably going to be interested in when they might be able to get some of those jobs that you're planning on creating. When might they be able to expect that?
Well, it's how fast we get this going. And I say that you can cut your dependency by 30 to 40%. In 10 years, you might even do 50%. You take in conservation, we could really make a cut. So it's going to be, by the time they get out of school, they're going to have a chance to get a job if they're a freshman
And how
or
do you
something.
plan on connecting with young people?
How do it?
Yeah.
I'm connecting with you, you're young.
What
else?
So what is the next step for the general public? Just sign up, saying
Sign
that
up
they're...
and watch what happens, because it's all
just
gonna
wait?
happen before this election comes up. We're gonna force this into the debate. You'll see questions asked in the 5 debates on energy. There'll be no question about that. So, all right.
Thank you.
Let me go.
Mr. Pickens, thank you for your time.